Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Ask the Consultant. I'm your host, Braden Kelley, and on today's episode, we're going to be asking the question, is innovation everyone's job? Should it be the task for everyone within the organization? So let's jump in and take a look at that very important question. Let's start by highlighting the fact that innovation is the oxygen of business. The fact is that no matter whether you're talking about a product or a service or an experience, the reason why innovation is so important is that every product, service, and experience has a natural life cycle from introduction to growth to maturity and decline. And it's because of that inevitable decline that every company has to continue innovating, has to continue trying to stay on top of the customer and satisfying their changing wants, needs, and expectations. And a great example of this is looking at the difference between Kodak and Fujifilm. They're both in the same business, and a little over a decade ago had very different results. Kodak in 2011 had losses of $1 billion, while Fujifilm was making $1 billion. And the reason is that Fujifilm recognized the trouble that they were going to be facing with their main business, the film business, and started to make a strategy and working that strategy to reinvent, reimagine, and innovate themselves so that they wouldn't die. So where does innovation really come from? Well, it doesn't come from the shower, but instead it comes from places like our universities and our coffee shops, our hookah bars, and our private clubs. Yes, and even our companies. Any place where ideas and people can collect and connect the fragments of the potential that they see for the future into compelling ideas and to find the willing partners that will help them scale those ideas. Innovation sits at an intersection between invention, entrepreneurship, and collaboration. And if, as a company, you underinvest in any one of these areas, your innovation efforts will struggle. So, is innovation for everyone? Well, it all depends. It depends on whether you, as an organization, have invested in creating an infinite innovation infrastructure. Most companies have not done this, which means that even if an individual within your organization comes up with an amazing idea, that there's nowhere for it to go, that the infrastructure is not in place to help that idea evolve, to experiment around that idea, to scale it, and to prototype it and test it both inside the company and outside in the marketplace. And so the worst thing you can do, not the worst thing you can do, but one bad thing you can do to employees is give them the sense that their ideas are welcome, and then in the reality, not provide the infrastructure that's necessary to advance that idea and help it go somewhere. So make sure that you have an infrastructure in place if you're going to try to widely solicit ideas from your employees. Otherwise, it's much better to be strategic and to select the areas of innovation that you want to focus on and pursue, and to fund those areas and make sure that those areas are able to scale. So what does an innovator look like if we're going to focus a little more tightly and not open everything up to everyone? Does it look like the gentleman on the left, Walt Disney, the lady on the right, Marie Curie? What about this guy on the left, Sir James Dyson? Or does an innovator look like Dale Chihuly, the famous glass artist on the right? The fact is that innovation and this lone innovator myth is something I really, really hate. And the reason that I hate it is because the facts just don't back it up. It's not whether you're innovative or not. We're all innovative in our own ways. And so if you look at, Bill Gates or Thomas Edison, some of our innovation heroes like Alexander Graham Bell and Steve Jobs, the fact is that all of these people had huge, entire labs of people and entire companies of people helping them take an idea, turn it into an invention, and then scale it into a potential innovation that the marketplace ultimately adopted and replaced their existing solution. Innovation is a team sport. And so as we look at innovation and trying to be successful in innovation, it's all about the people. You need to make sure that you have people that are really good at going out and looking into the future and trying to find the next great technology or next great idea that can help fuel your innovation efforts. people that are really good at working together to help experiment and scale those ideas, and people that are willing to fight for their idea, because no idea emerges as a fully fledged idea. They come out as idea fragments, and no idea emerges perfect. And you have to have hypotheses, and you have to test those hypotheses. You have to prototype and test these things. And a lot of ideas and people won't survive this challenge unless they're willing to fight for it. And then, of course, you need people that are willing to play a number of different roles to make innovation happen. And it's because of that, and because of the fact that it's not whether you're innovative or not, and because there's so many different roles that need to be filled in order for an innovation team to be successful, that I created the 9 innovation roles as part of my first book, Stoking Your Innovation Bonfire. And so you can get lots of free information, including the card design, at 9roles.com if you go there. And we're going to dive in real quickly and just look at what each of the 9 roles are. So we have the revolutionary. These are the noisy ideas people that come up with lots of ideas and really want to make a meaningful change within the organization and possibly even within the world. We have the artists, the people that can look at the idea fragment that emerges potentially from a revolutionary and identify ways to make it better, to make it stronger. We have the troubleshooter, people that can spot the flaws in an idea or an idea fragment and identify ways to help overcome those. And ideally, they'll also find the fatal flaw that every idea has and help you work through it. Then there's the conscript, and these are the people that are oftentimes afraid to share their ideas, but really love being part of the innovation process. And conscripts are incredibly important to the overall success in innovation, because you need people that are willing to jump in and do whatever it takes to help advance an idea and evolve it. And then there's the customer champion. Oftentimes these people live at the edges of the organization. They might be in sales, they might be in customer service, they might be in other parts of the organization where they have interactions with customers. And so that if you don't have a customer in the room, oftentimes they can serve as a great proxy for a customer. Then there's the connector. These people know where the resources live in the organization, whether it's people or capital resources. So they can help bring the right resources to a potential idea to help it evolve and grow. Then there's the judge. These are the people that are really good at stepping back and out of themselves personally a little bit and evaluating ideas from a fair perspective. And so judges are incredibly important, and oftentimes it's hard for us to take that step outside of our own personal beliefs and look at things from a fair perspective. And then there's the magic maker. And these are people that are really good at taking an idea and seeing how to make it real, to take it beyond that theory and put it into practice and look at how you're going to scale that idea and bring it to the marketplace. And then finally, we have the evangelists. And these are people that are really good at helping to tell the story and to help people see how this could fit into customers' lives. And so evangelists are really important to helping to rally support around an idea internally as you're trying to develop the idea, and then help attract customers to it when you're ready to promote it externally. And so those are the 9 innovation roles and how they come together. And again, you can get lots of free information, including the card design, which you can then download and take to your favorite printer to get a beautiful large format tarot style cards printed out. And so that's all available at 9roles.com. And so the couple final things I want to say is that number one, inventors have great ideas, but innovators change the world. And so you have to give people the courage to act. And if you want to go big with innovation, you have to make sure that you build an infinite innovation infrastructure to support going wider with your solicitation of potential innovation ideas. And both the 9 innovation roles and the infinite innovation infrastructure are ideas that are covered in my first book, Stoking Your Innovation Bonfire. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick look at whether or not innovation should be part of everyone's job. And I hope that you'll help support this continuing video series of Ask the Consultant by grabbing a copy of either of my 2 books, and the links are all here on the page. Or if you'd like some assistance to help facilitate workshops, or to have someone come in and do a keynote to help build new capabilities or new inspiration for innovation in your organization, then go ahead and check out innovation-speaker.com. And until then, go ahead and keep innovating and join us for the next Ask the Consultant, and go to any of these links and find the contact me page and send me your question and we'll tackle it on a future episode of Ask the Consultant.